Good morning everyone and welcome to the second part of chapter 3 Machines. In today's class, let us study about levers. Before beginning the classes of levers, let us understand little more about machines. We can classify machines into two categories. Number 1, simple machines, and number 2, complex machines. Simple machines are those machines which we use daily, like pen, scissors, knife, etc. Complex machines are the combination of many simple machines. For example, machines in factories, car engines, etc. In this chapter, we are dealing only with simple machines, and that too we have to study only two types of simple machines in this chapter. They are number 1 lever and number 2 pulleys. Today let us study about levers. Lever is a straight or bent bar. It has a fixed point where that lever is capable of turning. That point is called as fulcrum. At one end of the fulcrum, effort is applied, and at other end, load is kept. Distance between fulcrum and effort is called as effort arm, and distance between fulcrum and load is called as load arm. So let us define lever as: lever is a rigid, straight or bent bar which is capable of turning about a fixed axis. Now let us study the principle of levers, that is mechanical advantage of lever. We have already studied in chapter number 1 principle of moments. According to principle of moments, in equilibrium, sum of anti-clockwise moments is equal to sum of clockwise moments. Let us take a lever. Here, fulcrum is the joining point or the pivoted point. Effort and load are the two forces. So, according to principle of moments, in equilibrium, sum of anti-clockwise moments is equal to clockwise moments, and we know that anti-clockwise moments in this case is load multiplied by load arm, and clockwise moments in this case is effort multiplied by effort arm. Substituting these values in the formula, anti-clockwise moments is equal to clockwise moments, we get load multiplied by load arm is equal to effort multiplied by effort arm. Taking effort to left hand side and load arm to right hand side, we get the formula as load divided by effort is equal to effort arm divided by load arm, and we know load divided by effort is mechanical advantage. So mechanical advantage is equal to effort arm divided by load arm. Please do remember some of the important points. Number 1, if effort arm is equal to load arm, mechanical advantage will be equal to 1. Such machines are used to change the direction. Number 2, if effort arm is more than load arm, mechanical advantage will be more than 1, and such machines are used to multiply force. Number 3, if effort arm is lesser than load arm or load arm is more than effort arm, mechanical advantage will be less than 1. Such machines are used to multiply speed. Based on this, let us classify levers into 3 categories. Number 1, class 1 lever. Number 2, class 2 lever. And number 3, class 3 lever. Remember 3 words: F, L and E. Here F stands for fulcrum, L stands for load, and E stands for effort. If you learn these 3 words and remember these 3 words and understand these 3 words properly, then we can say that you have understood the entire concept of lever. Now, what is the use of these three words? These three words help us to identify the class of levers properly. How? For example, the first word is F. F stands for fulcrum, and if fulcrum is in the center, I repeat, if fulcrum is in the center, it is first order lever. And second word is L. L stands for load, and if load is in the center, it is second order lever. And the third word is E. E stands for effort, and if effort is in the center, it is third order lever. Very easy. If fulcrum is in center, first order. If load is in the center, second order. And if effort is in the center, it is third order lever. Now let us study about each class of lever elaborately. Number 1. Class first lever. As we have already studied, in class first lever, fulcrum is in the center and load and effort are at both sides. Please note, it can be placed any one of the sides. In class first lever, mechanical advantage and velocity ratio can be of any value. It can be equal to 1, it can be greater than 1, and it can be lesser than 1. Let me explain. Number 1, mechanical advantage equal to 1. If effort arm and load arm are equal, or fulcrum is exactly at the midpoint of load and effort, mechanical advantage will be equal to 1. That is, mechanical advantage is equal to effort arm divided by load arm, and we know effort arm is equal to load arm, and therefore mechanical advantage is equal to 1. For example, seesaw. In seesaw, both of the children are sitting exactly equal distance from fulcrum. Thus, effort arm is equal to load arm, and therefore mechanical advantage is equal to 1. Such levers are used to change the direction. Number 2, mechanical advantage greater than 1. If effort arm is greater than load arm, that means fulcrum is nearer to load. Mechanical advantage is greater than 1. Let us take the formula. Mechanical advantage is equal to effort arm divided by load arm. And as we know, effort arm is greater than load arm. Mechanical advantage is greater than 1. Let us take the example of a crowbar. What is a crowbar? A crowbar is a bent bar which is used to remove nails. In a crowbar, effort is far away from fulcrum and load is nearer to the fulcrum. So effort arm is much more than load arm, and therefore mechanical advantage is greater than 1. Such levers are used as a force multiplier. We know we cannot remove a nail using our hands. We need to use a machine to do that. The machines which help us to multiply force, those machines are having mechanical advantage greater than 1. Now, number 3, mechanical advantage is less than 1. It is possible when load arm is greater than effort arm. In other words, fulcrum is nearer to effort. As mechanical advantage is equal to effort arm divided by load arm, and load arm is greater than effort arm, mechanical advantage is less than 1. Let us take the example of a scissors. We know in scissors, handle is smaller and blades are longer. At blades, we place the load, that is paper or a cloth, which is farther from the fulcrum. So load arm is more than effort arm, and therefore mechanical advantage is less than 1. Such levers are used to multiply speed. Now let us discuss an important question for board examination. Question may ask in many ways. Either why scissors used for cutting cloths have longer blades and shears used for cutting metals have shorter blades, or scissors and shears are of same type of levers, still they differ. How or why? We have already studied about scissors. Scissors have longer blades and shorter arms. So, load arm is greater than effort arm. Therefore, mechanical advantage is lesser than 1. It is used as a speed multiplier. By experience, we know that we do not require any force to cut a piece of paper, but we require speed. Therefore, we need a machine which is a speed multiplier. But in the case of shears, blades are shorter and handles or arms are longer. That means its effort arm is greater than load arm. So, mechanical advantage is greater than 1 and it is used as a force multiplier. We cannot cut metals with our hands. We need more force to do it. So, to multiply force, we use shears. Now, let us discuss class second levers. Remember F, L, E. As I have told earlier, in second order lever, what comes in the center? Load comes in the center. So, load is at center and fulcrum and effort at both ends. It can be at any end. So, surely we can see that always, please note it down, always effort arm is more than load arm. Effort arm is the distance between fulcrum and the effort. And if effort arm is more than load arm, what will be its mechanical advantage? Mechanical advantage will be always greater than 1 because mechanical advantage is equal to effort arm divided by load arm, and as effort arm is greater than load arm, mechanical advantage is greater than 1. So, second class lever is used as a force multiplier. Very important question. Which type of lever is always used as a force multiplier and why? The answer is obviously class 2 lever because load is at the center and effort arm is greater than load arm, as mechanical advantage is equal to effort arm divided by load arm. So, mechanical advantage is greater than 1. For example, let us take bottle opener. It has load at the center, fulcrum and effort at both ends. Second example, wheelbarrow. In it, load is at the center and fulcrum and effort at the both sides. Now, class 3 levers. Remember F, L, E. What comes in the center? Obviously, effort comes in the center. So, effort at center, fulcrum and load are at both ends. So, load arm is greater than effort arm because load arm is the distance between fulcrum and the load. In the formula, mechanical advantage is equal to effort arm divided by load arm, and therefore mechanical advantage is lesser than 1. So, always class 3 lever is used as a speed multiplier. Let us take some examples. Number 1, sugar tongs. In the sugar tongs, effort is at the center and fulcrum and load are at the both ends, and a knife, effort is at center and load and fulcrum are at both ends. As we have already studied about lever, let us discuss about the pattern of questions which may come for examination other than definitions from this part. Number 1, usually there is a compulsory question to identify class of lever. Number 2, name of a lever will be given. You have to identify the lever as first, second or third and need to draw that lever properly, marking on it load, effort and fulcrum. Number 3, there are some examples for all these 3 types of levers found in our human body. That too is very important. Let us study each class of levers as found in the human body. Number 1, nodding of head. Here, neck or spine act as fulcrum. Front part of your face act as load, and rear part or back of your head act as effort. As fulcrum is in the center, it is of first order. or class 1 lever. Number 2, raising the weight of the body on toes. Here fulcrum is at the toes, load is in the middle and effort by the muscles. So as load is in the center, it is class 2 lever. Number 3, raising a load by forearm. Here elbow joint acts as a fulcrum at one end, biceps exerts the effort in the middle and load on the palm is at the other end. So it is class 3 lever as effort is in the center. This is the end of today's class. Thank you. Have a great day.